Can I talk you out of starting a sole proprietorship, please? Welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about why sole proprietorships are an absolutely terrible idea and the dangers that can come with registering one. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Pamela Metani. I'm a business lawyer and the founder of Graphene Business Law, a law firm serving clients virtually and throughout the province of Ontario, Canada. If you're new to our YouTube channel, you'll notice that we post free, educational, and informative content every single week here. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any other lawyer or law firm doing the same. So make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Without further ado, what are some of the aspects that make signing up for a sole proprietorship absolutely horrific? Okay. I get so scared on behalf of clients that talk to me about how they're experienced business people because they've had a sole proprietorship in the past, or they're debating between a sole proprietorship and a corporation. What is there to debate? A sole proprietorship, legally speaking, is the same thing as you operating a business with your exact individual name, and affords you no distinction of identity between yourself and the identity of your business. In other words, if the sole proprietorship you own gets sued for something, it's you that got sued for something. While in business law, we have the absolute fundamental idea that a corporation can be a separate legal entity from any of its founders, directors, officers, whatever the case may be. A reality, by the way, in business law that is hundreds of years old, even within the Commonwealth jurisdictions. So why is that so important? Why did business flourish? Because it was allowed to. By stripping away risks to the business owners, we allowed business to flourish by saying that, hey, think of all these ingenious ideas as a business owner, start up shop, and so long as you're incorporated, that liability falls within your corporation if it's found to have any, and not you, okay? So in other words, your business can get sued without it hurting you in your personal life at all. Of course, there's disclaimers here in the fact that the two identities are completely detached in terms of a corporation and its owner. For example, if it's found that your corporation is something you started, just as an act of fraud, and it's some sort of, super fake, translucent facade to actually do harm, then courts will likely find, or do something called piercing the corporate veil. They'll likely find that the corporation is not a separate entity, and they'll come after you personally. But this video is not catered toward, the most egregious acts you could think of and why they may or may not count as those acts of a corporation versus you personally. Generally speaking, for an average, hardworking person trying to promote their business dreams, the absolute only reason I can think that somebody would not incorporate, and this goes back to my literal corporate law professor in law school, he would say the only reason I can think somebody would not incorporate is ignorance or lack of sophistication. In other words, the person just doesn't know that they should incorporate. A sole proprietorship affords you essentially no legal protections. For everything it does wrong, it will be you as the business owner that did it wrong. I cannot think of a reason why you should go with a sole proprietorship. And people try to act fancy and try to act sophisticated. They bring up taxes and things like that. Who cares? If you get sued, big time as a sole proprietor, you're going to lose everything you own and personally bankrupt yourself, your life, your family members, and everything in it. It's never a good idea. It's not. It's not. Okay. And it comes with so much more, on the business operations side. I had a client the other day. She was like, I'm struggling so much to get insurance. And I said, well, why do you need insurance? She said, well, I had this sole proprietorship. And I had the sole proprietorship and, you know, I needed insurance for it. Well, of course you needed insurance with sole proprietorship because it was you that was getting insured for whatever the business was. With a corporation, it's a separate legal entity. Generally speaking, you know, I have clients and I know individuals that make millions of dollars a year in business and keep thousands in the bank account of a corporation. Why? Because of it being a separate legal entity from you as the business owner. The most, generally speaking, there are always exceptions, that a corporation is going to get sued for is what it owns. So in other words, if in your corporate account, you know, your corporation's worth $10,000 or it has $10,000 to its name, and you as XYZ have, you know, $1 million to your name, and you get sued for $1 million by a client. It's not the case that once they take the $10,000 from that corporation, they're going to then come, you know, down the line and deduct $990,000 from you personally. No, it stops there with the $10,000. Again, there's always disclaimers, there's always extra categories of fees and all that. But generally speaking, assuming, you know, hardworking, non-fraudulent individuals, not doing, you know, egregiously dangerous things, whatever somebody's trying to get out of your corporation, the cap on it is going to be what's in the corporation as a separate legal entity. So I wanted to put this video out there. There's so much more responsibility and headache and stress, and it's not even fair to say so much more liability with having a sole proprietorship. There is only liability. I mean, it's not a comparison that, you know, a corporation protects you 50% and a sole proprietorship protects you 25%. A corporation protects you 0% toward personal liability. 0%. I can't compare it. Oh, I don't know if I said a corporation. I meant sole proprietorship if I said corporation. I can't compare a sole proprietorship to a corporation. So that being said, maybe it's a good place to end this video. I can't keep saying the same thing, you know, 30 different ways. If you are considering starting a business, or if you're an entrepreneur at the early stages of your vision, please incorporate. Now, yes, there's questions there, you know, do we do a non-for-profit incorporation? Do we do a for-profit corporation? All of those nuances. A lawyer is going to help you figure that out, and we have plenty of content on this channel to help you figure out the differences between those structures as well. However, please incorporate. Don't even dare think that the value proposition of even incorporating yourself, if you're comfortable doing it, for a few $100s for an incorporation should be a deterrent from protecting yourself, you know, for the rest of your life toward infinite amounts of damage and personal liability. Please incorporate. And if you're not ready to incorporate, take the extra few weeks or months or however long it would take you personally to put together a few $100s to do it yourself, or maybe up to a few thousand to have a lawyer do it for you, depending on the level of complexity. Take the time to save that money so that when you start, you know you are shielded. Some shields can crack. Yes, it's true. I'm not saying, you know, incorporation is the seat to heaven, is the golden ticket to heaven. I've made clear there's always disclaimers and scenarios that might have a court do what's called piercing the corporate veil. But generally speaking, that's not what happens. And there's a very, very high threshold to determine that a corporation, in fact, is not there for legitimate purposes. So again, I'll end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you are a business owner that made, I'm gonna say it, the mistake of operating as a sole proprietor at the beginning of your career or your business ventures, sound off in the comments down below. Let us know how that worked out for you. How did you end up fixing it? You know, why did you realize incorporating was so important? Or if you're somebody that's on the fence right now about the value of incorporating, leave a comment down below and I will respond, and we can keep growing our community here on the Graphene Business Law YouTube channel. I hope the next time that somebody Googles, you know, sole proprietorship, registering a sole proprietorship, or somebody Googles the benefits of a sole proprietorship, this video pops up and deters that person from doing so, or at the very least provides you with some educational and informative content as to why you shouldn't. Sole proprietorships are almost always a terrible idea. Thank you for watching.